Hello. Is there something going on with the light? Turns out I don't know, so the store is closed. Wow. Yeah. I'm with my data. I'm with the phones, my phones, and this is another phone. This is the Motorola. This is why the image, definitely Samsung is better for me to do live streams because Motorola, it's awful, the quality of the video. I can see the color, it doesn't match. I don't know why I look so reddish, but yeah. So yeah, since I'm with the data of my phone, I don't know how long I'm going to have to do this. So let's go straight to today's readings. So yeah, I'm going to try to make it as fast as possible. For today, I'm going to do a tarot reading for Dawn, Huna's ex, because I believe people have seen clips of him or have seen him. I don't know if he was like at the party, a celebration, something, and people were like, wow, he looks better or he looks different or happier. I don't know. And they wanted me to read for him. I thought that I read for him on Gemini season, but I only read for Huna. Maybe it was because was he in the military? I believe he was, wasn't he? Well, it seems like he's out. Ah, okay, okay. So yeah, if he's out, I'm going to read for him. Yes, I didn't know. Then I'm going to read for CBX. Then I have the Rose member Dohyun. Um, I want to read for Ive's leader, Ahn Yujin. I thought that I read for her on Virgo season for Virgo idols, but I was looking for it, because someone was requesting, a reading for this year. I was like, I read for her. And I looked through the readings for Virgo idols, and she's not in there. So maybe I read for her in, I don't know, romantic, romance, I don't know, ideal type, but I didn't read for her year, for this year or, what is available for her, in the next months. I haven't read for her in that, in a general aspect. So I'm like, I'm going to do it today. We are already in Libra season, but I'm going to read for her. Then I'm going to read for Alice in Borderland, Nijiro Murakami update. I read for him in the Japanese. If you're interested, I do have a live stream but dedicated for the Japanese actors and artists. He is included in there, but since he and the other former initial, I would say, the original characters of season 1 and 2, um, they sort of came back. There's appearances. I don't want to spoil anything if someone is watching, but he looks different. and it's not age, he looks different, and people have been, have mentioned that he had some, I don't know if it was like mental health or health related issues. So people wanted to see how he's doing. I don't read for health, nor, but let's see. I think that when I read for him back then, it was positive. It was a bit unstable, but he was going to get out of this. um and well, let's see the cards today. And then I have a question about how stray kids feel about their career. And then the last one is Twice and BTS. How do they view each other? Hey, Agustin. I saw people saying the bad hand is real because he's looking better now. Don. I'm used to calling him Edon. So to say Don, it feels like, and also because my pronunciation probably is awful. But I feel like I don't, is Huna's X. Huna's X, like Don. Yeah. And hello, Austin. I'm with the data of my phone today because my internet is going crazy again. It's so unstable and I cannot do this. So I'm going to go right away to the reading so I don't waste time. So, this can be recorded later and you guys maybe can watch the replay. But yeah, I want to, not run so much today because I don't know how long my internet data is going to be in here, but let's see. Thank you for your patience. I don't know what is going on with my Wi-Fi. It's working. I don't know what is it. Um, but yeah, I will see if this week I will have it fixed because there's something going on. But yeah, one thing at a time, guys. One thing at a time. I'm still recovering from my ingrown toenail. I'm still in the process of, so be patient with me. Oh, you do? Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Done. Oh, I got the cards upside down again. No, it's not upside down. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this then. We wanted to come out like upside down. I'm going in reversal. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I believe I have some reversals in here. It's been a while since I used this deck, guys. This is why I had some reversals. Some cards upside down. It's not even reversals. I don't read reversal, but they were upside down. So I guess for Dawn or for Dawn's energy, it means something. So I'm going to leave it like this. Yeah. Okay. Another reversal. He's definitely like going through something. I feel it like he is. It's not that he's erratic, but I think that probably he feels like in reverse. He feels in reversal. He feels upside down. I would say, in a very. This is a very introspective moment of his, trying to find himself, feeling a bit betrayed. I would say, maybe the maybe in the past because he had another priorities, the sense of betrayal or the sense of maybe failure or him, taking things personally. He just didn't have the time to deal with those feelings, and now they're starting to appear. So this is why I feel him like very. You have to be cautious with his energy because he is okay. He's going to be okay, but probably he's going to start detoxing, or his real maybe how he really feels about, his ex and everything is going to start to appear in certain behaviors or certain sayings of his, because I can see some things accumulated. Yeah, we started reading with two cards in reverse. That the cards in reverse are the Nine of Wands and the Page of Swords. These are the ones that came in reverse. In the middle, we have the Five of Swords. We have the Four of Swords. And then we have the Ace of Cups. That is beautiful. The Ace of Cups. And then, I got the Hermit card in reverse. That is a seek truth. So probably he has been, in this hermit mode, maybe because of what he has to do, the enlistment and other things. I think that he has done the reflection. He has done the work. It's just that maybe now it's time to let it out. It's time to show himself. It's time to unleash certain things that maybe in the past he wasn't able to. So um Nine of Wands and the Page of Swords, in reversal. um I think that he somehow, maybe he was advised, or he felt like it wasn't necessary for him to say something when all of this happened. And I think that he made a wise decision, because the Nine of Wands in reverse, is not that negative. Actually, I think that it's better. And the Page of Swords also in reverse, I think that he avoided plenty of headache by not reacting. I think that he done well. The Nine of Wands and this Page of Swords in reversal, I think that it done him some good back then, because maybe he had shown this energy, if he had like unleashed this feeling, this very prematurely saying something, or very impulsively saying something, and trying to defend himself and defend his poster, and show his frustration, maybe back then it would have been misinterpreted, and actually people like being against him, being like, oh, why are you acting like this? Don't you want Huna to be happy? I think that it would have come out the wrong way. So somehow the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Page of Swords in reverse is like, what you did, those things that you couldn't say, or those things that you were like, I better do not show or react. I think that it definitely takes a toll on a person, because maybe he did have a lot of things to say, or there was a lot of anger, accumulated, a lot of frustration, also being very tired of, maybe there were a lot of people. It was exhausting, it was exhausting. Maybe people asking questions, maybe him being reminded of a lot of things that were happening online, or what they saw of her, and trying to get information out of him. So him trying to remain silenced, it was tough, but he was able to pull it off. And I think that if this was because of the military, I think that it done him a great influence, because I think that when I remember when I read for when this whole thing happened, the breakup, and then her being associated with the other guy, um um and I think I asked the cards about like how was he feeling about these two, um and he definitely, there was, he got the King of Pentacles back then, and I was like, he is somehow feeling sorry for them, because he's like, both of them are, I see them now, and I understand that you guys are meant to be together, because both of you are very infantile, are very immature. And him having this King of Pentacles energy, it was like he was starting to, he wanted to do something with his life. Maybe this was about going to the military and just take responsibility. I don't know why there was something about him back then being like, for the first time in my life, I'm taking responsibility for myself. So what he did was, being practical about his life, maybe getting his life in order, and the enlistment, and getting very practical about things. So yeah, it makes sense that, people maybe wanted him to say something or to react, and he just contained himself. So it was challenging. It was something that maybe now you're going to start to see him sort of, getting rid a bit of those limitations. And with the Five of Swords, definitely, he still feels that he was wrong. He still feels angry, um at a lot of people. I think that there's something, I don't know if there were people that he felt like they were guilty, or they were covering for Hyuna or something like this. So I think that I don't see him like directly, saying something to her, but I think that he can say something about other people that maybe they were like their friends back then, and now they no longer are. And I feel like he feels like, um he feels like if you ask him, maybe he will spill a bit the tea with the file source, because there's a lot of like very harsh truth that he wants to say or he wants to express. It's not that he wants to tell his side of the story, but it's something about like, here, this is what you deserve. So I'm saying this because, it is it's a bit of, him maybe trying to, I don't want to say like have a revenge, but there's something about like, at the end, my truth or my side of the story can hurt a lot of people. So probably, him becoming very harsh in the way he communicates. He's sending a message, definitely. That is that you shouldn't mess with him. He is a different man right now. He's not, he's not a victim. He's not, feeling fragile. He's actually feeling very sharp. So this is why I'm like, if people want to keep asking him about his past or about everything that happened, I think that his response is going to sound a bit like harsh, like with no filter, with a certain like spite, with a certain anger, because he's like, I'm going to tell you like it is, and I'm going to call people by their names. Like, I'm going to call them for what they are or for what they did to me. So he's very sharp. So he's very sharp. He's very much like, like harsh. He's in this very, when someone is really honest, and it comes from a place of like, I have a few things to say. I have been holding on, and I have a few things to say, and they're not going to be nice. I'm not going to be nice about this. I'm not going to be polite to the people that hurt me. Um, but then, in the near future, we have the Four of Swords, and we have, the Ace of Cups. So I think that for him, this sort of, anger, or maybe him looking like he is like, sending a message, or somehow, putting people in their places, cutting connections, it feels like he is like, I don't want to say like he wants to take revenge, but it kind of feels like a win or lose situation, and I think that from his part, he's like, I'm winning. Everything that I'm doing, showing, is me winning at the end. I won. So, with the Four of Swords and the Ace of Cups, I think that this sort of resentment is not going to last that long. He's going to move on. He's going to calm down. The Four of Swords is like, if I did, or if I showed up and I show a side of myself that was a bit like, rough, or I think that he's not a person like this. With the Ace of Cups, definitely it shows that, his core, his essence is to be a very peaceful person. So I think that this is, like sort of the manifestation of him feeling betrayed, but I think that at the end he's going to come down, and he's going to go back to to be who he used to be, and also with the Ace of Cups, there's a lot of potential for him, making music, creating his art, coming back as an artist. I think that this is why he's like, I have to purge everything, I have to get it out of my system, so I can calm down, so I can lower, um, the frustration, the anger, maybe people um, calling him names behind his back, he's like, I'm not weak. I'm not weak. People tend to, for a very long time, I think that people tend to underestimate him. So this is why, he feels like, this sort of like, I have to say something to, to let them know that I have, at the end I won, or that I have the control now, at least of himself. He's not looking at what others are doing. He's like, I'm just taking control of my life. It is what it is. And for the people that are not nice to me, I'm not going to be nice to them. It's like the Mr. Nice Guy is over somehow. But at the end, with the Four of Swords and the Ace of Cups, there's like he's coming down later. It's not going to go wild like this. No, because I think that he learned a lot of lessons through all these months. He's like, I'm a person that I have plenty of ideas and vision. So he wants to come back. He wants to come back to creation. He wants to, give shape to his emotions as well, but he has a lot to give to the audience, or maybe to his fans. So, and even relationships, the Ace of Cups is also letting me know that he is a very sensitive man. He's very, he is, a lover. So probably this can also mean the beginning of a new relationship. I don't see someone in here, but I think that he's like, I have to sort of get rid of the venom, before, I start over, in my emotional journey. Yeah, and with the Hermit in reverse, seek truth. I think that he, in reversal, the Hermit is like somehow advising him, like, your reflection mode time, your hermit mode time is over. You already know the truth. You already know what is going on with you internally. You are already, like, getting it out of your system. So somehow the hermit in reverse is like, there's no need to hide. You don't have to hide. Go back to create, go back to being you, create a better version of you. But don't hide, because there's something probably about people sometimes thinking of him like, oh, because he's so gentle, or he used to be an introvert, so I'm sure he wants to be left alone. Well, I think that in this moment, after he goes through all of this, there's something about, he has to come back, he has to come out, he has to get out of the hermit mode. It's like, you already went through this journey. You already did the work. You already spent time by yourself. You already isolated yourself. Now do something with that truth that you gained, that you acquired in your alone time. Don't isolate. Because yes, he does have tendencies to, be like, since I'm so sensitive and I feel misunderstood. But I think that maybe for this like new comeback in his reality and in his life and in his creative process, he has to come out. It's the time. He has to be seen again. It's like, no more hiding, no more like, oh, the sad boy, or the mysterious guy, or the dreamy guy, or the introvert. Like, no, 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 no. A new dawn wants to come out, and it has to be more like impactful in presence. You have to get out there, you have to be seen. And also he's so like wise, beyond his ears. So maybe, he has some wisdom to share with his audience, and this is why he needs to get out of your house, do the work. mm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that maybe they weren't good for each other. Sometimes, maybe, sometimes we, because there's a lot of years, in a relationship, and at the end, all the all the experiences together, they come to the same resolution. Some people are not good for each other. They don't push each other to, their best, their best version. They don't um, uplift each other, and sometimes because you are scared of breaking things up, and you're like, oh, but we have been together for a very long time, so we know each other. Yeah, but you had all this time and you didn't make any advances, or maybe there's one of you that wanted to achieve something and the other one wasn't ready, so there was like a certain delay. But just because you guys were together, it seemed like, well, we're going to resolve this someday, and that day never comes. So I think that there's some certain people that it's better to just be friends. Like, don't, if in a lot of years you weren't able to achieve a certain something, I don't know what happiness means for people, it's different, the concept. But just because you are stuck in a relationship for a lot of years, that doesn't mean that it was meant to be like the best the relationship ever. No, sometimes it's because you are used to each other. Also, the audience maybe is like, oh no, they were so cute together. Some people are like, they base everything on appearance. Like, oh, you guys look good together. I guess you are supposed to be happy because you look good together. And it's not like that. It's not like that. But yeah, let's wish him the best. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Dan. Okay, I'm going to move on to CBX, to Exo CBX. Let's see. Oh, the cards are so jumpy for them. Hmm. It's tough. It's tough. Okay, we have the temperance. We have the Six of Cups, and we have the Nine of Wands, and then we have the Four of Wands that it says homecoming. So I think that if some people are worried about, CBX, like somehow, not appearing in this comeback for EXO, I don't think that it's going to interfere. I think that you're going to see, mostly all of them together. It's like, EXO is coming back. When they say that it's coming back, it's coming back. It's not like some members. Because I think that at the end, maybe, when it comes to the comeback, it's arranged already. This has nothing to do with that. um I mean, the cards are not negative about CBX. I think that this is, I don't know, maybe, there's something about the maybe the press or the media, just wants to somehow sell this sort of, I know that they are in a trial, and there's the justice involved and everything. There's some hearings and everything going on. But honestly, seeing like the temperance, the six of cups, and the 10 of wands, I think that they are not like, there's nothing like dramatic about this. I don't think that the guys are like, oh my God, we are never going to win this, or we want to win this, or it is you again, it is them against us, and it's like, this sort of, very tragic telenovela. I don't see them that, agitated, or that affected. Actually, with the temperance, there's this lower of, maybe expectations. Even they are like slowing down. With the temperance, it's like, well, let's just breathe. It is what it is. It's just that the process is annoying. Maybe, going to the hearings, and not coming to a sort of agreement. With the six of cups and the 10 of wands, they definitely feel a bit, tired, because they are like, okay, we feel responsible, because this is something that maybe this has been, with the six of cups, it talks about the past, so this maybe has been dragging forever. So it feels like a burden for them. They are very tired. They are very tired, and it seems like it's going to be dragging for maybe a couple more of months. Um, the six of cups is like this feeling of like, oh, this happened before. This is something that we went through before. This is why, it's not, I don't feel it like they are emotionally or even like mentally invested of like, oh my God, this is important. Like they're like somehow, with the temperance, I think that they're just trying to, just be like, okay, it is what it is. Um, you know, they are staying very true to their initial claims. This the six of cups is like, we are staying by, our claims, what we have claimed in this. uh but at the same time, maybe it's taking forever and it's dragging so much. They feel so tired. They feel so tired, and they also feel the responsibility to just go with it. It's like, okay, I have to appear again. I have to do this again. I will do this. Yeah. Yeah, the Eight of Cups. Could it be that they settle at least at the end? I don't want to say at least. Sorry, my English today. At the end, could it be that they settle for something because they're tired? They're tired. With the Eight of Cups, it's like, emotionally, not even mentally. It's more like emotionally. This has been like a sort of a very wild, journey where there's no satisfaction. I don't see like for them this is like, oh my God, we are achieving something. No, no, it feels very heavy. It feels like very, it feels draining. So with the Eight of Cups, I can see them like moving on from this already, because it's like, I don't see an outcome. It's tough. It's tough. Maybe it's this company, or I don't know what is it, but it feels like they also want this to be over, because it's like it's not going anywhere. It's like, and I think that maybe they do it on purpose. They're trying to make them feel like this, like defeated. It's like, move on already, guys. There's nothing for you here. um Maybe, in the past they were very like, passionate about this, and now they're losing strength. They're losing, they are very tired. They are very tired. But the Four of Wands, homecoming, definitely the Four of Wands, it shows, the joy of, maybe the comeback, or having to work with the others, coming back with EXO. It feels like, there's joy, there's jubilation, there's celebration. So, at the end, I don't think it's going to affect the comeback, but I don't know how they're going to do this, because, yeah, they're tired. maybe if you guys know something about, the lawsuit, and I have no idea, and maybe if I do a bit, I read something in Spanish, so I don't know how to translate what I know in legal terms, in English. So if you guys know something, I would appreciate um your feedback if you're fans, because I'm a bit ignorant in that aspect. Okay, I'm going to read for the Rose Dojoon. Dojoon, a member of the Rose Dojoon. Ascension. Okay, for this member, we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the Five of Cups in the middle. We have the Three of Cups, and then we have the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Wall card that it says Ascension. Ascension. So I think that did he go through something? Because we have the Five of Cups in the middle. So I'm like, why is he so sad? Like emotionally, maybe there's something about him missing an opportunity or him regretting something. Because in the past, like his past energy, it seems like he really like was his when it comes to his career, I do see it very stable. Does he have family of his own? It could be the company as well, or if they own a company. But the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, is this very happy family, or this, great dynamic with the group. Probably, the Rose is a group that brings a lot of stability in his life. Also, with the Two of Wands, a lot of new projects, a lot of new ideas. He probably is very much invested in those. So I wonder why he feels so down. In the middle we have the Five of Cups. So I wonder if emotionally, if he's going through something, or if he wanted to achieve something and somehow he lost, his opportunity, or he felt like, oh my God, I lost it. It's not that serious, but maybe, I don't know what sign he is. I don't know what's his sign, but he feels, emotionally like, wow, I miss it, and oh, this is not what I wanted, or this is not the outcome that I wanted. Definitely a very sensitive person. But I think that this is just an instance. I don't want to say like, oh, he's sad and this year has been sad. No, no, because I see him achieving a lot of things, and there's a stability in his endeavors. So I wonder where he comes from, because we have the Five of Cups in the middle. So, what is going on with him emotionally, that he feels a bit like let down, like, we missed this opportunity, or I missed this opportunity. But in the near future, we have the Three of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Swords, not Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups. So there's celebration again. So is the Rose releasing or going on tour? Because I have the Wall card. So I'm like, they're moving a lot. They are moving a lot. And there's something about, his circumstances, personal and with the group, are all about cycles. They probably like finish a project and then they start all over, or then they start somewhere else. So everything feels very dynamic. I think that this is why I'm like, with this Five of Cups in the middle, I'm like, it feels like he doesn't even have time to process. If he feels a bit disappointed about something in his personal life, maybe, there's something about him having to come back with the group, or having to come back to work, or having to come back, to celebrate with his friends or with his group of people. So, he has to be there. He has to be present. He's very important. Also, the Queen of Swords, he's a very important. Is he like a songwriter? Or maybe is he the leader? I don't see here. Um, I don't know much. I know the Rose. I love their music, but I don't remember the members' names. So I don't know who is who. Um, but it's happy times are coming. Happy times are coming. Celebration. Who is getting married? Is someone getting married? I feel it like very strong, like marriage. And also the ten of cups, not the 10 of cups, the 10 of pentacles. Like this is like a very strong community that they have together. It feels like a family. I don't want to say like, oh, it's them and their staff. That usually like, certain, I know they're not like K-pop idols, like entirely. Their music is different. Maybe the way they work is different. It feels more free, more. But sometimes I also feel like family is involved. Like the 10 of Pentacles is giving me like, oh, it feels like instead of you having like employees or staff members, it's your family or is some people's families. So when you get together, it feels like family. So for them, it's very important, and I see them moving around a lot and taking these people with them. So yeah, the World card Ascension. So see, things are going to be really positive for him. So he shouldn't worry. He shouldn't worry. He shouldn't worry. Hey, Natasca, he shouldn't worry at all. At all. He's going to be fine. um it's just that I don't know, maybe things are moving very fast for the group. It feels like he doesn't have time maybe to stop. So this is why it feels like he's moving around a lot, or he's like, you know like I don't want to say like he's tired, because he's not tired, but you know it seems like you don't have time to process what you're feeling, because you have to do another very important thing, and everyone is waiting for you. So it feels like he's very needed, very like, very requested, like his presence is very requested. Okay, I'm going to read for I member, Anne Eugene, Eugene, Anne Eugene. And this is the member of I thought that I read for her in Virgo season, but I didn't. So I apologize. So let's do this for her for the rest of 2025 and maybe a bit of 2026. Let's see what she um what she gets. Wow. Oh, a lot of defensiveness. What is going on with this woman? A lot of defensiveness. She's very powerful, nevertheless. So no one is going to take her down. But um, she's super. I would say she tends to be on the defensive about things. Maybe it's because she feels the responsibility. So I feel like her energy is like, I always wear a armor just in case. You know, we start with the Seven of Swords, Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands always appears for her. I remember last year I got the Queen of Wands for her. And I was like, oh, she's so intelligent. The Seven of Wands in the middle, Two of Cups, and Nine of Wands in reverse. So who is pursuing her? I have the Six of Cups, memories. Who is pursuing her? With the Two of Cups, I don't see the person. But I'm like, there's someone pursuing her. There's someone interested in her, but she's like so tough. She's like so tough. This is why I have all these ones in here. She's protecting herself. She's like putting all the barriers. She's like putting all the barriers. I don't follow I, but I like her performance. She is amazing. She's like has this energy. I always, when I read for her, I get this boss vibe. I know she's the leader. I asked last year if she was the leader. She was the leader, but she's a very tough person. I can definitely see her. Because also the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Wands, this is someone that is unapologetic. She says what she says. She could be a bit controversial with what she says. There's something with the Seven of Swords that maybe, she has this tendency of, not everyone likes what she says, maybe. There's something about, I don't know if it's the tone, if it's the attitude, but it's just because she's a very passionate person and she's very direct. She's very, straightforward. So maybe, for a K-pop idol or a girl, somehow they're expected to be like, oh, sweet and cute and ask permission for everything. And she's like, no, not me. So this is why, with the Seven of Wands, in the middle, it could be that, maybe she has to defend herself for something that she had been saying or something that she said. It feels like she definitely has to defend herself, or defend her poster. And I think that there's something that maybe, in the industry, there's something that I think that she's sort of showing me here, that for someone like her or a woman with her characteristics, she's usually very much like judge. So I think that the seven of wands is like, I'm always on the defensive because I have to be. We are not, someone like me is not welcomed. Someone as intelligent or as magnetic as me, people don't like us very much in the business. Maybe she's savage, maybe she's like very, she has, it's not just about what she says, it's also how she behaves, how she's very territorial. There's something about her taking up a lot of space. It's like she has this energy that you cannot ignore her. So this also could attract, envy or jealousy from others, maybe, stating like, oh, she always does too much, or she's always like this, and we have no idea why she's like this. It seems like she's always fighting someone, but no, she's actually like this. She's very, she's not going to be tamed. This is someone that she's not going to be like, oh, please, can you help me with this. She's not going to show vulnerability. No, no, she is a boss, and that's her persona, and that's who she is, and that's how she stands in this business. So she's not going to soften that. Maybe people are sort of asking, or they criticize this, and they're like, oh, I wonder if this is about age. Maybe people are like, she was she was surrounded by these um, older people. How in there, about seniority and age difference, like you have to pay respect and you have to be respectful, and there's something about her having a sort of pride in herself. So maybe people are like, oh, she shouldn't talk like this because this person is older, and she's like, I don't care. But yeah. Yeah, the Two of Cups in the Nine of Wands. I wonder who is pursuing her. Has she had rumors with someone? Is there someone that is like, oh, she could be my type? Or has she been associated with someone from the past? Because, yeah, the Six of Cups is memories. Who is this person? But the Nine of Wands in reverse, it could be like her, like lowering a bit her boundaries and be like, maybe I will accept a bit your advances. Not so much like, I need some eye followers. I need people to tell me the tea about Eugene. Is it Yujin? Yes, Ahn Yujin. Who is this person? The Three of Swords. Could it be that she had like a very rough start with this person? Like maybe the person felt betrayed or betrayed by her. But they are trying to work it out. They are trying. I think that she's like slowing down a bit her energy to meet this person. But there's some feelings hurt in here. Both of them are very sensitive. Both of them are very sensitive. You don't follow I yeah. So it could be someone from her past. But yeah, she's like, well, let's see. I'm going to give you access to my presence. Let's see what you have to say. Impress me. But she likes him as well. She likes this person as well. Because otherwise, the Two of Cups wouldn't be here. Let's see for Alice in Borderland actor, Nijiro Murakami. Let's see an update for him, how he's doing these days. I read for him already, but let's see how he's doing. Yeah, he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. He's going to, you're like I said when I read for him, if you go back to my readings for Japanese, his name is even in the title of the live stream, so you can search for this. Yeah, I got that he has like a sort of like you know um a sort of behavior energetically. I felt it. I'm not diagnosing anyone because I don't know him. um but I felt like he goes through mood swings, or there's something in his energy feeling a bit sensitive and fragile from time to time. But in here I keep seeing movements. Maybe it's about this Alice in Borderland, the season 3, and him appearing and people talking about him and sending him love. There's a lot of love, there's a lot of reception. He's receiving the feedback, people talking about him and telling him how much they love his character and everything. He's receiving all of this. And yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the King of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups. So I think that he's going to come back to work. He with the Wheel of Fortune, there's something about him changing, his energy changing and becoming more active. We have the Queen of Swords also, as the advice. This is perception, that is somehow allowing him to take this feedback that he's getting today, or the love that he's receiving, or people mentioning him. It's like, take it, take it, because you deserve it, you've done a great job, people love you. So yeah, do it for them. There's a lot of people, maybe there's a lot of fans of his. I personally, I like his performance. um it's just that just like when I read for him a couple of months ago, sometimes when he gets into this stagnation, or maybe when he gets into this you know he gets stuck into a very low mood, into a very low vibration. I don't know how you can call this. It feels very energetically and spiritually. He cannot control this. So um, maybe he needs help to be able to get out of this cycle, to be able to start moving, like start moving introduce changes every day, start moving your energy, like get out of your house, like, do exercise, like practice something, get a new hobby, but, go back to the real world, get active again, get active, don't hide, and I think that this is something that is very interesting, because when I read for Dom, I also got this sort of advice, maybe is the advice of this season, is the advice of this whole eclipse that we have been going through, that is about like, let's not stay inside, like with our feelings and our perceptions, and get all sensitive and paranoid about life. It's just like, it's one day at a time. You don't have to make like drastic decisions, but, introduce change in your routine, do something different, move your body, connect with your passions, talk to someone, like, but open open, and you will start to see the way out. And I think that for him, this is very important. Also the Ace of Wands start moving, the King of Swords, he's someone that he's super intelligent, he's super eloquent, he knows himself also. He's like, I know I can do this. I know I can get out of this. I know I have the knowledge. I know things. I'm intelligent. I'm perceptive. It's just that now he's starting. Maybe it's because we have the Ace of Cups. That he's starting to realize the love that people have for him. He's starting to see it. To finally get it in his mind. I mean, like, wow, people really love me, and so I guess I have to open up to receive it, and feeling worth it of this, because he's very important. He's very important. Maybe, he's even, I don't want to, because I don't want to trigger, Alice in Borderland fans, nor Kento Yamasaki fans. I love Kento. But there's something with the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords here, that I'm like, maybe even, when it comes to popularity, maybe he's even more popular than Kento, that Kento is the protagonist. There's something about maybe his character, like people are so, they love him so much, or they love his character so much, so they want to see more of him. And he has projects available. Like there's a lot of, open doors for him. So it's not like he's not finding jobs and he's depressed. No, it is about, cycles in his life that he has to navigate, and he has to find the way out. Well, now things are moving. The Wheel of Fortune is like, this season is over, let's get into a new project, let's get things moving, let's get your energy moving, your body, your spirit, let's go. You are a queen, you are a King of Swords. The Queen of Swords also here, that is says perception. You're a very smart person. Get your life together. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Natasha. I believe he is in the title. Kento is in the title, and other actors and actresses. But I believe that, yeah, Nijiro is in the title of the Blacksmith. Okay, I'm going to read for this question that someone sent me, that it says, how is Stray Kids feeling about their career? Stray Kids feelings about their career. Stray Kids feelings about their career. Very passionate. Very passionate. This. Yeah. Very passionate about their career. Very satisfied. A lot of love, a lot of reception. They are working on a lot of things. They're not going to stop. So yeah. 10 of Cups. Ace of Wands. Knight of Wands. King of Wands. And the Queen The queen of pentacles, practicality for Stray Kids career. Stray Kids career. Yeah, I mean, they are satisfied. The Ten of Cups is like, we are satisfied. We have been and we're going to keep advancing, and we have been collecting a lot of, good memories. We feel very proud of ourselves. There's a lot of fire, there's a lot of energy. I don't think that this energy and this enthusiasm of them is going to stop. I see them, very much energetic, like, okay, yeah, well, we have to do, I don't know if it's concerts, or I don't know if it's them visiting different places and just being here and there. I see that you will see a lot of, maybe individual activities, the groups activities, a lot. The Stray Kids is going to be very active, very active. I mean, I know they had like a comeback not so long ago. They're going to keep appearing everywhere, and probably 2026, the beginning of 2026, is also going to be a year where they're going to rule the charts, or, they're very proud, and they're working, and they're going to continue working. The Queen of Pentacles is also says practicality. So I think that this is something that, I don't know if when I read for Banchan, or when I read for Banchan and his relationship. I remember once I did a reading for Banchan and his relationship with Stace. That the guy basically, he's always busy, he's always working, he's always improving, he's always putting the effort for the group. So they don't have time to take things personally like some people do. And when we have all these cards in here of energy, and also the Queen of Pentacles, that is says practicality. Basically, they are moving, they are getting the job done, they are getting the numbers, they are doing what they have to do, they are showing up to work. So yeah, maybe there's, I don't want to say that there's lack of emotions, because actually we start with the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is like, emotional stability. It's like having a loving group, a loving community, a loving, I don't know, the people around them, the families, everyone supports the members, and the members support themselves emotionally. So no one is betraying anyone. No, they are not unhappy, they are okay. But also there's a lot of things to do. This is like a brand new beginning for them, and it's very active and it's very energetic. It seems like there's a lot of things to do. Also, the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, there's a lot of like powerful performances, or maybe, there's certain members that they are going to show up in interviews, in variety shows. You're going to see them everywhere, because it's time for them to, to get productive, to work. This is not a moment to get, all depressed and sad. No, there's no limitations in here. I think that they have everything that they need, but mostly they have the fire, they have the passion, they have the attitude. They are really thirsty for more. They want more. They are very competitive. They feel very competitive. They are not sad. They're not stuck. But yeah, and also they are very practical. They are like, yeah, while I feel like this, I have to keep producing, because this is our moment, so you're not going to spoil it for us. I think that also, there's a lot of passion and a lot of energy, for them, to sort of reclaim their place in the industry. It's like, I don't see obstacles for them, honestly. No, the King of Wands, is giving me like, they know that they are popular, or they know that they rule, or that they are, very important in the industry. um, and they're like, we are like this because we keep producing, we keep working, we keep, putting the work. So of course we expect the best of the best. But I think that there's also like, no one is going to ruin this moment for us. We are so happy, we are so happy, we are so energized, we feel so driven. So no, this year nor the other, we are not going to stop us. They feel very magnetic, very energetic, they feel very masculine. It's like, we have to go out there and show them who is the boss. So yeah, I love it. I love it for Stray Kids. Yeah, a lot of ones. I was surprised. I'm like, I did shuffle. I did shuffle well, but yeah, all the ones wanted to come up. They are very important. They are very important for the industry, or they are very important for a lot of people. This is why they cannot have a moment of like, oh my God, what if this person doesn't like us? They don't care. They are like, the ones that matter, the ones that they show the support, this is the ones we should be dedicating our effort. We work for these people, for the people that they really want to see us, that they are proud of us. The haters, they don't mind. They don't mind. Okay, I'm going to do the last question. That is twice and BTS. How do they view each other? Or how do they feel about each other? How do they view each other? Twice and BTS. Twice and BTS. They have great views of each other. They're very proud of each other, what they had accomplished. Very proud of each other. Very proud. Okay, from Twice perspective, yeah, we have the nine of wands, and we have the emperor. So yeah, and from BTS we have the ace of cups, and we have the queen of cups. So it's very nice because actually both of them are like sort of like honoring their energies. Like the masculine is honoring the femininity of the other, so, and the power of creation. Yeah, six of wands for their connection, and five of swords, that is says defeat. Yeah, I think that from Twice perspective, they definitely see them as winners. We have, the nine of wands, and we also have the emperor. So there's something about them, like I mentioned, them, being a girl group. They admire, the dominant side of BTS. Them really being like very dominant, or being very important, or being like the kings. The emperors of the industry, them being in power. But also the nine of wands is like, we know what they went through, or we know, you know, everything that they had overcome. The nine of wands is giving me that the girls are like, we admire them, not just because they are like, um, they are very important for the industry, they are very important for the business, they are, very talented people, and they are the emperors, they are like the royalty, um, and they dominate. It's just that they are like, we know, or maybe they know the history of certain members, or they had shared these experiences. The nine of wands is like, we know it wasn't easy. We know there were moments of weakness, or we know there were moments where they wanted to give up, or they were tired, or they were exhausted, or they were overworked, but still, with the emperor, there's this resilience, there's this rulership of like all the obstacles, and it's like, we respect them because they got strengths, um in moments of, in very challenging moments. I think that probably the girls, there's certain members that they know about their struggles, so they're like, we know we know that it wasn't easy. They of course are in a place of, as the emperor, they rule the industry, they are, very respectable, and they are, the emperors, but they also see the struggles. They're like, not everything is so fancy and and spectacular like people think. We really saw them struggling, or we really saw them like battling, with certain issues back then. Now they are the emperor, but we know them from where things, were tough on them. So I think that they definitely recognize them as this very important figure in the industry, as the emperor, as people that they were able to transmute the challenges, they were able to overcome this and come out like winners, like the emperor is like taking up what he, what they taking up the throne, it's like, go take up space, go and win, even if you think that you don't have it all like the others, or that you don't have all the chances like the others, you go and compete anyways and win. And I think that they saw that process, of them really wanting to be at the top, and how maybe, they had certain interruptions or there was something unfair, but they were able to make it. And I think that from Twice, it's like, I will remember that, we know that of theirs or of their history. Um, from BTS, yeah, we have the Ace of Cups and we have the Queen of Cups. So from BTS part, as a group, about how they view Twice, they definitely view Twice as these, probably, I don't know why I want to say, like, probably one of the sweetest, most feminine, um, um, and talented and fresh girl group that they know. The Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups is all about emotions, it's all about creation. It's about them somehow being like the mothers, like the goddess of, in this industry, in the industry where, from their case, they had to get competitive, they had to get very tough, they had to be tough, they had to compete, they had to, you know uh, somehow show up to battle, and be harsh in this competition. But they see Twice as this, as the group that was able to bring the loving concept, the cute concept, the beauty in the concept of girl groups. So they definitely celebrate, Twice ability to bring this femininity. There's something about them, like, Twice had always not only were able to open people's hearts with their music, but they also were able to bring a very soft and feminine touch to the girl concepts or the girl groups, that maybe, if they see others, they are like, not, or others don't do it like Twice does it. Twice brings the femininity. They exude this femininity. They are open, they are loving, they are sweet, they are cheerful, they are very sweet with their audience. They are like the mothers of what do I want to say, like they are the mothers of K-pop, but not from a place of like, competition. It's more like their style. It's like, um, it's like this very elegant and just very sweet and positive message, that opens people's hearts, that even, when you can be really tough, you can be very masculine person, you can be very, you know I don't know, you can be like a sergeant, you can be a very masculine person, but you can still listen to Twice, and Twice, music, and Twice concept, and the girls will help you to open up your heart and get out of the shell for a while, and be cutesy, and just being cute, and just being not just cute. I think that is about being loving, being loving, and talking about love, and talking about emotions, and talking about, being soft and emotional. And I think that they see them as probably this group that, for them, in their opinion, they are like they are the only ones that have that for us, that they probably they seen, or they share experiences with Twice, and they are like, until this day we think that the ones that are like the queens of the concept of bringing this emotionality, this connection, emotional, spiritual, sentimental connection, is the girls of Twice. And also they are super feminine. They are super feminine. They are super, like, I don't want to say like they soft, because we know that they are grown women, and they had other concepts as well. It's not just like, oh, they always are cute. No, I know. But the Queen of Cups is like, we can transform in a lot of things, but we never lose our essence. The essence is that we are tactful, that we are feminine, that we embrace our femininity, and we don't try to, get masculine or act like masculine. Like we are women. They are like the example of the women energy, the Aphrodites. The um, this very sensual energy that is not like over the top nor explicit, but they are able, with their concept, with their beauty, they're able to open a lot of hearts. So maybe, for them and their perspective, it's like every time we think about Twice music, Twice concept, the Twice members, we're like, oh, they're so cute. They will always be like, oh, like maybe they have this with men, that men really, like, they see them on stage and they're like, oh, besides them being beautiful, but there's a certain of respect, it's like they move me here, it's like they're so like, like they bring emotions out of them. They are the mothers of that. And yeah, the Six of Wands and the Five of Swords. So, this also, I think that their connection is successful. They think and they wish each other to keep to keep achieving this level of victory and success. But also the Five of Swords is like, we sort of get it. Maybe it's because of their years of experience that they have this duality. They are like, we want you to do well when the numbers are really high, and when you feel defeated, or when you feel like things are not going your way, or when you feel like, maybe this comeback didn't do very well, we also wish you to overcome that. It's like we wish you to be okay with the victories and with your losses. Like we wish you, to be able to overcome that, because I think that there's something about them, um, from both sides. It's like people see them and they're like, oh, but they're so victorious. Oh, but they are so successful. But them as artists, or maybe them, knowing themselves personally, I don't know. They know that even though, you can say, oh, they're winning, oh, they're the most popular, but they also have their defeats, they also have their issues, they also have their problems, they also have their insecurities. So there's something about these two groups being like, in the good times and the not so good times, I wish you to be successful, or I wish you to get out of this being victorious. I wish you the best, because they know that with victory there comes a price also, that is not just all like, oh, you're going to be successful forever and you must be really happy. No, they know that there's upside downs even when you are at the top. So this is why they have the Five of Swords as well. Like, we wish you really to recover, and to be able to, if you're sad or if you have some personal issues, I wish you to recover, you know and also not to base your well-being in just because you win awards, or you win something. I think that they know each other, maybe, in, I don't want to say intimately, but there's something about like a very interesting view that they have of each other, that even if the people see us victorious, we also have personal issues, we also have things to overcome. So it's not always like pretty. Also fame has a price. Okay, guys, I don't know how I did it, but I guess my data is still working. Thanks to the data of my phone, I was able to record this for today. Thank you so much to everyone that joined. I appreciate your support, guys, to come back because I had to, eliminate the prior live stream and create a new one. it is a headache, but yeah, I wanted to do the live stream anyway, and I'm glad it worked. I will have to watch the replay to see if it looked okay. I hope it looked okay for you guys, that there wasn't not a weird like interruption. I hope. But yeah, this is what I, I don't know what is going on with my internet. We'll see. But yeah, I've been having these issues. Yeah, I will have to also, work on that to give you like a better experience in the live streams and not so much interruptions. But yes, thank you so much, guys, for being here today, and have a lovely start of the week. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, bye.